Death has always been something of a taboo subject throughout human civilization. The prospect of human mortality is terrifying because death is one of the only certainties of life. But the question of what happens beyond death is surrounded by total uncertainty. For millennia, philosophers and researchers have attempted to discover the secret to human immortality with little success. Several thousand years ago, people would search for an elixir, potion or fruit which could give them the power of eternal life. In the 21st century, we search for answers in science, technology and medicine, attempting to find an answer to a question that is as ancient as human consciousness. Can we live forever? We're passionate about keeping our audiences informed on relevant topics, so please subscribe to this channel if you're as passionate as we are about knowledge and enlightenment. Death is a natural and unavoidable consequence of life, but even though it is such a prominent truth within our lives, it is a phenomenon which we know relatively little about. Death is associated with grief, loss, and finality, and this means that it is an incredibly difficult topic to discuss, understand, and prepare for. With the scientific, medical, and technological developments of the 21st century, however, we're coming to a greater understanding of the human body and mind, which may potentially lead to the greatest breakthrough of them all: whether it is actually possible for humans to live forever. We're continually discovering innovative and novel ways to prolong the quality and quantity of life. In recent decades, inventions, treatments and therapies have been introduced which are designed to extend our lives as much as possible. When these factors are combined with accelerated economic progress, greater financial security and increased quality of life, humans are living longer than they ever have before. We've already made significant progress when it comes to people advancing well into old age in a healthier body, and it is certainly no longer unusual to see someone who has surpassed the age of 100. Extending life is one thing, however. Achieving immortality is something else entirely. Aging is an incredibly complex process, and even if someone managed to avoid all injury and disease, a time would always come when their cells would begin to irreparably break down and deteriorate. The truth is that there is no way humans could ever biologically live forever. Biological immortality is therefore more focused on life extension technologies, as well as preventing or slowing down the aging process, rather than staying alive indefinitely. For the vast majority of people alive at the moment, biological immortality is probably the closest they'll get to living for as long as possible. There is an alternative avenue when it comes to living forever, however, and this is digital immortality. This is a novel concept and one which we are not familiar with when it comes to traditional definitions and ideas about immortality. With digital immortality, the mind would be uploaded to a medium which provides comparable levels of functionality. Your brain state would be transferred from the organic matter of your brain to another synthetic vessel. And if this process is actually possible and if it can be reliably and securely repeated, then immortality is theoretically possible, although for the brain rather than the body. There is definitely a thriving and growing industry surrounding life extension and life preservation technologies and therapies. Numerous institutions and businesses are investigating solutions and products which could perhaps not only slow down the aging process but stop it entirely, although this area of research does raise some crucial ethical and moral questions. Humans are obsessed with death and immortality, and whilst there is the distinct possibility that this research could lead to a future where we live forever, there's an equal chance that this is just an industry capitalizing on universal anxieties and uncertainties that are ultimately inevitable. Human civilization is more advanced and informed than it has ever been in the past. In an era of medical breakthroughs and technological sophistication, it's easy to be optimistic and assume that anything is possible. In many ways, this optimism may have only increased the anxieties we feel about human mortality and death. We've solved countless unsolvable problems and discovered numerous undiscoverable mysteries. And yet, death is a conundrum that continues to evade our comprehension. With the understanding that we have developed up until this point, our physical bodies are just not built for immortality, at least not without extensive modifications and intervention. It would seem that technology is the most realistic chance we have when it comes to keeping our essence alive after biological death, although even this is a strictly hypothetical scenario. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel if you enjoyed this exploration. We have so much more exciting and intriguing content lined up for you.